The country ticking background stamp is a great kind of staple to have in your crafting stash. In fact, I used it on multiple cards for this release, and it's going to pop up in a lot of different places, I'm pretty sure. Please excuse the stained stamp here. It is well loved already. So the actual image itself is about 5.5 by 5.5. So it should span all the way across your A2 cards. But if you want to extend it, you could always just repeat the stamp, since this, these rows are just repeating elements. So you could just stamp it, multiple times to have it extend. So let's look at some cards made using the country ticking background stamp. Here's this first one where I actually stamped the background on different colors of cardstock and then isolated different sections and cut them out into strips or borders. And then I just put it all together for this background. Here's a card where it's a little bit more subtle, used as sort of just an extra element. Just have a little bit of the country ticking background here at the bottom. I really loved using the country ticking background as a really subtle element. So this is stamped in pebble on white cardstock, and I used the same exact kind of technique over here on this card. I just pulled the background stamp up a little bit higher. Here's that background stamp stamped in white pigment ink on top of an ink blended background. I believe this was, oh gosh, Brickyard ink blended into Plumberry. Those are two of the new 2025 colors. They're just beautiful blended into each other. And for this last card, this was a little bit of like a figuring out how to do this. It was a little bit hard to make it so they reflected. I'm hoping I can share a video on this soon, because it was a little complicated trying to figure out exactly how to cut these so they all came to that center section. But the country ticking background looks really, really neat like this. I think it would be really fun to do another background of this type where you have like intersecting, kind of lines going into one area. So that's the country ticking background. I think it's going to be a really good, like I said, staple in your stamping stash. It's got a little bit of that delicate look to it, but really airy and not too overwhelming.